Welcome back, my friends. Last week I made a video for you, American volunteers fighting for the Ukrainian International Legion or 3rd Assault Brigade or AZOV, newly created international company or battalion. Well, you guys liked that video a lot and I have more footage, so today we're gonna watch more American fighters or volunteers fighting for the Ukrainian International Legion or Army, whichever unit they have chosen. By the way, the most newly created Ukrainian International unit comes from AZOV. They created an international battalion and Kyiv Independent made immediately a report about it, and it's perfect because there's two different American Marines there, one of which was outside of the military for 10 years when the war started and rejoined. Not the American military, but the Ukrainian one. He brought his own whole Marine Corps experience and now he's teaching that to the AZOV fighters. Let's watch it. This guy, his name is Uno, and I love him. He's so cool. Uno could be an Estonian name, but I'm guessing they use it in America
it's,
also.
Misfire, so I fire.
Infantry officer.
Detonate. Maybe me. Headphones? Будь ласка.
23-year-old Uno fits the classic image of a US Marine, but since early 2022, he has been fighting for another country's flag.
So he's 23. Honestly, looks older, behaves older. You know, war ages you. Training ages you. I like this man a lot, and I think he's gonna give you a lot of reasons to like him also when he speaks.
After years of service with the International Legion across the front line, Uno was looking for a new challenge, and when Ukraine's legendary Azov Brigade announced the formation of an international battalion, the timing couldn't have been better.
Dumb ways to die. If I die, I was very scared. It wasn't instant. I was in a lot of pain. And this isn't what I love doing. I have a lot of regrets.
First of all, I love the humor in any situation. I love dark humor, any kind of humor. If I get into a bad situation in life, make fun about it. I love humor. Massive plus points here. You cannot survive any war if you don't have humor. He's like a pure breed American for me. Look at that, shoots an RPG. Thumbs up. I mean, nothing, no words. This is just very American experience right here. And they bring that to Ukraine. I love that.
I think I always wanted to be a soldier. My dad was in the army and my grandfather had fought in World War II, Korea and Vietnam. And so like, it was just kind of built into me. It was in my blood, per se. Everybody in my family kind of knew what was coming as I got older. And then
very much a Rambo vibe with the heads, how do you call this, bandana or whatever it is with the Ukrainian flag. Also, grandfather fought World War II, Korea, Vietnam, what the hell? And then the father was in the army, I'm guessing for decades, I don't know, but looking at the temperament and the way he holds himself, comes from a military lineage. And that's a very common thing in America, not so much in Europe though. But in America, I hear there are these generational military families. Grandfather, father, sometimes mother even, or sometimes both parents in the army, and the daughter or son, they also enlist Marines or Army or Navy or Air Force. It's different in Europe. Us Europeans, sometimes it's difficult to understand. What do you mean, a military lineage? What do you mean? But that's in America, it's different.
I called my sisters when I got out of the Marines. And I was like, hey, I want to talk to you guys about something. They're like, you're going to Ukraine. And I was like, lucky guess. I think everybody just kind of expects this of me. Like, nobody's really even afraid for me back home. Like, everybody just kind of knows.
Look at this man. Would you say he's 23? I wouldn't.
I'm off doing me. Specifically for Azov, I wouldn't fight anywhere else. Their emphasis on the preservation of life for their soldiers is so huge. Like, if one of us is wounded, which has happened, you know, one guy's wounded, like, the entire brigade's artillery kicks in. The entire brigade's EW kicks on and starts knocking out every drone. I've got random Ukrainian infantrymen sprinting from random tree lines and trenches, like help, like grab the casualty, and they're like, us, and they start carrying him because we're tired. You know, like that kind of support and brotherhood I don't think can be found in any foreign, like these guys don't know us.
That's what they say about the AZOV brigade, and now it's made into a bigger unit. They have that brotherhood, they have that unity. They also have that in 3rd Brigade, and their heritage is connected also, and the 3rd Brigade, by the way. But yeah, you don't really find that in most units, but definitely in AZOV.
You know, this is our first mission or whatever, you know, like we're a first mission in this AO. And they're willing to die and expose themselves to enemy fire and drones for us just because we wear the AZOV cloth, just because we have the title backed in our name. And I don't know that you can find that anywhere else in the Army here. I think some people are meant for this life, like predestined for it, preordained, and it just makes sense for them. And I couldn't see myself doing anything else. I used to have, I had a normal job for a few months. I've never been more miserable. Like I'll be cold in a fighting hole, getting hit with artillery, freezing my feet off, you know, and like knowing I'm gonna die when the next shell hits, and I'm like more content and happy. I sleep perfectly at night. I'll be 40 meters from the Russian border fence in the forest with my feet and trying to warm them up with like dead leaves, and no problems. But like at home, I was like miserable knowing I had to wake up and go into the office that day. So I think I'm just meant for this.
I mean, I can see his personality shines through. I can see it in his eyes. He's happy what he's doing. He's standing in the right side of history. I just want to say thank you for your service, Uno. Put it in the comments also for him. He seems like an amazing personality, fighting for the right cause. I'm happy he's on our side.
Fortunately.
Look at that.
It was broken, but it worked.
That's pure happiness,
Another
man.
ex-Marine, Callsign TJ, has seen firsthand how years of brutal war with Russia has changed the makeup of the foreign fighters in Ukraine.
I was in the United States Marine Corps. I was actually out for 10 years when this started. So I was just like doing construction and stuff like this. And I came here in 2022, March.
I gotta point out always with these Marines is the coolness of them. I guess they go through so much in the training, the experience, the brotherhood you get in the Marine Corps in the United States, the crucibles you do through there. I guess it calms down your personality a bit, the way you carry yourself, the way you talk, the coolness of it, the groundedness. I like that, I respect that, and you need that in any kind of conflict. And this is what shines through for me about this person also.
Joined the International Legion, was there for 3 years. 3 years straight. I haven't been back to America yet. And as soon as AZOV started accepting foreigners, obviously it was an upgrade from where I was at. So straight to the Legion I went, or straight to the AZOV I went.
There were like thousands who joined early on, but then few who actually stayed all the way. And what are the kind of people who are still here after all that time?
Yeah, so there's like a romance about war for some people.
Now this is very much what I've seen also in the 4 years of covering this. 8 times I've been to Ukraine, looking at the eyes of the soldiers. Some of them, you feel that something is broken in them. Others, they're happy doing it. They have no illusions about the war, but they're happy fighting it. They're happy they're on the right side. They had no expectation going into it. But others, you know, who play Call of Duty before or Counter-Strike or whatever ideas they had in their head, watching Hollywood military movies, they always romanticize the war. They never show you the reality of it because nobody wants to watch it if you show it the reality of it. You romanticize it, you put music, you put effects, you build up the character breaking point or evolving point in the storyline onto this battlefield. It's not like that. People break, people piss themselves, they shit themselves, and they die. Unceremoniously. So, if you don't have expectations about that, if you see it for really what it is, then you can find out if you're really meant for that life. I'm not meant for that life. Some people who joined the Ukrainian International Legion at the beginning of the war, they had all these ideas. Their grandfathers fought, Second World War, Korea and Vietnam. They didn't have their war, so they went there. It didn't turn out to be what Hollywood showed it for or what Call of Duty showed it for. It was brutal and different, and as I said, you're gonna shit yourself.
They have a whole different idea of what war really is. So I think a lot of people came here chasing that romance. And then when they see actually how violent and aggressive this war is, that they tend to go back home, and that's fine. That's normal.
Yeah, it's okay.
This is not a normal place to be for somebody who's...
Again, sorry for pausing this much, but everything he says, I have a personal connection to it. I mean, again, I said many times, not for me. I don't have illusions about war. It's not for me. I would not enjoy it in any way. If I have to, I'll do it, but I don't enjoy it. Thing is, if soldiers find out that, okay, it's not for me, they can go back home, it's okay. But if they don't, if they stay out of guilt or whatever, I've seen soldiers like that. They become a threat to themselves and their fellow soldiers. You can see it in some soldiers' eyes. They're broken. You know, the illusion is broken. They're tired, they're wasted, they're depressed. You cannot fight like that. When fighting, you need the burning sense of I'm doing the right thing and I believe in it. If you don't have that, at some day you're gonna go into the bush and that's it. I've seen it. I even know Estonians who fought for Ukraine who went past that broken point, and they didn't go back home. Perhaps somebody was not waiting for them back home. Whatever the reasons they didn't go, they should not have been in the army, and it didn't end good.
Not from this country, and who's not actually like forced to fight here, so I understand. And a lot of the good ones, the really good ones, were killed early on. And that also made people go home. You know, if you see one of the best soldiers that you've ever been around in your life get killed in this war, it tends to make you think twice about being here. So I think that made a lot of people go. For me, I had lost a lot of close friends early on, people that really became family to me in the beginning. So in my opinion, the best way to honor them was to hang tough and keep going.
Again, people don't really, in the movies it doesn't really show. I mean, Band of Brothers and like greatly made shows, they show you. In the war, you're infantry. You can be the best infantryman in the world, best shooter, best survivor, best whatever you are. Are you gonna be able to handle the fact that you will lose friends, best friends, people you're connected to? Don't matter how good of a soldier you are, if you cannot handle that mentally and fight the next day with perfect precision and aim and calmness, you know, that's it. The handling of the weight of losing big number of your loved ones, of your friends, personal friends, you cannot really teach that. Yeah, it's something you go through, you get really burned in life and then you learn that, but you cannot teach that. Continuing with Americans in Ukraine, I have a video coming from the Kremmina forest. It's a big forest where fighting has been happening forever, actually. It's one of the oldest front lines in this war, actually. And here we have an American soldier volunteer shooting an RPG in a firefight. That's an American volunteer. And I'm guessing the cameraman is Columbian, because you can hear... Wow. See, another shot the first one, give me another one. Puts it in and does not twist the detonator, you know? And there's a misfire. I didn't know if you could hear the click, the trigger mechanism went, but it didn't fire. Second click, second misfire. Twisting the detonator.
Be careful.
Guy says, be careful. I don't know which accent this is. Is this maybe Colombian? And the third click, third misfire now. They're gonna change out the missile. I mean the grenade, sorry. And this time, puts it in, it sticks out more, twists it. Should be firing this time. Yeah, bada boom. You get the idea, you get the point. It shows how chaotic things can be and your equipment will fail you. That always happens. It's about how you react to it. 3 misfires, let's change out the grenade, twist it, check it, fire. It fired, all good. Gotta stay calm, cannot flip out. Props to this American volunteer. This next video again, early morning hours, and it's filmed by an American volunteer, and it's a crazy moment of a pair of Russian fighter bombers bombing a tree line just a few hundred meters away from him, and he catches it on camera. Look at that. This is what, an Su-25, what is it? Dropping bombs very low altitude to avoid the radar detection. Bada boom! And there should be another one. They fly in pairs usually. Where's the second plane? Oh no, no second plane. We have a Ukrainian anti-air missile following the plane. I have no information if it caught it, but it's... Look at that. Ooh, yeah. Immediately. Fighter bomber drops the bombs, gets karma immediately. Well, this is beautiful. I just showed it because I know for the fact that this filmer was an American. In this next video, American volunteer, his call sign is Doomer. It's a trench firefight, and there's also drones up above. It's beginning of 2025. Let's watch 1 minute of it. Grabs the drone gun. There's FPVs up above. They're trying to shoot down the FPVs right now. It's a very difficult task. I've seen some mad lads do it with one shot, but these guys on another planet. It's a very difficult thing to do. That was an artillery.
You.
And we get the American FU, but it's said in a very calm way. Sorry for laughing, man. It's the only thing he says, nothing else.
Here, spotting.
Yeah, there's one dropping grenades on it.
Talking about the Mavic up in the air, it's not an FPV, it's a Mavic dropping grenades.
They hit here like twice.
Grabs the Kalash again. Into the shelter. Oof, that was close. And that was the closest one, and you don't really get it in these videos. It's a GoPro, it doesn't really record the very low sounds, but the fact how it goes through your knees. I mean, if you've ever been under these explosions, I haven't, I've just been close to drone hits and missile hits, that's it. But if you feel that through your bones, they're like low vibrations, that's what gets to you, and that's what ignites the fear of death, in me at least. I felt it every time I went to Ukraine. I mean, the fear of death is a fear of death. It doesn't matter which situation. You are afraid that you're about to die right now. And that's changes you. Makes you appreciate things. And I think that explosion, really close. That was the closest one. These explosions, these close encounters, that's what makes you appreciate life. I bring to you another American volunteers now. This is an older video, 3 years old. He is in his foxhole. This is not even a trench, it is a foxhole. It's an outpost. Has a Kalash, films how he's under. That's an artillery barrage. In God we trust. An American flag. I look at his calm face.
Yeah, okay. And that is what you call a miracle. That's 7 meters away. That's tank fire. You're meant to die from that. "7 meters away, you watch a tree disappear. You tell me you aren't meant to be here. Nobody likes holding ground. We'd rather assault tree lines. But sometimes that's the order. You don't know.
So what's the difference between holding ground in his sense of how he said it and assaulting tree lines is, if you hold ground like that in a foxhole, you hold that position, Russians usually know you're there because there's drone everywhere, you cannot really do anything in secrecy in the front. So holding ground means getting heavy artillery, getting thermobarics, getting GMLRS on top of your ass. Assaulting tree lines, you might get mortared, you might get FPV'd, but if you're holding ground, holding several days and nights in a trench, in a foxhole, you're getting these 200mm and bigger, these massive artillery barrages and rocket fires, GMLRS fires, the whole battery is hammering at you, and that's 7 meters away from a high calibers like that. It takes your hearing, you gotta have balance issues after, it's horrible. There's a difference between assaulting tree lines and just standing in a hole, surviving these hits.
Understand pressure until you're actually
yeah.
Here. That tree disappeared. Praise God. Sitting here with a Russian helmet and a US helmet over my kneecaps.
So yeah, on the back in the trench, Russian helmet, US helmet on the kneecaps to protect against shrapnel. I don't know if the Russian helmet will do the job. The US helmet definitely will. Oh hell, man.
Oh, tits. That's a lot of pressure.
Oh, tits.
We lose a lot of
so
guys.
American, man. Yeah, a brave man.
To contusions and shrapnel.
Yeah. That's like digging a foxhole, especially when the ground is frozen. It's such a pain, man. Such a pain to do that, especially when it's supposed to be a deep one. For me, I'm a taller guy. It needs to be very deep to dig that with your shovel. I hate that. But it will save your life. This investment will give you dividends of life real fast. After the first explosion, you're glad you put those hours into digging it. Now, my friends, let's watch another American volunteer under a barrage, but this time, by the sound of it, I'm guessing it's a thermobaric. Listen to it. This is not artillery which is about to hit. This is these rockets, thermobaric rockets that suck the oxygen and air out of this explosion zone, and then the air collapses, making such like a wave explosion. It's strange. It will shatter your eardrums if you're too close to it. Shatters the windows and everything. Listen. That's insane.
Yo, I say we start f***ing up that tree line. I'm serious.
Why they're talking about effing up that tree line is they have a tree line about a few hundred meters away, and if they're getting such an accurate thermobaric hits, these weapons made in the 70s and 80s in the Soviet Union, they're not that accurate. They're only accurate if you really pinpoint these coordinates and you don't miss. I mean, they are area weapons. But if they hit so close to you, either it's a coincidence or there's a Russian drone up or somebody in that tree line really feeding those coordinates.
Wait, we start blowing trees down.
Yeah.
I don't know.
They took that like a champ.
Hey Tommy, permission to start f***ing up that tree line?
Permission to start effing up that tree line. Again with the politeness, man. What, are you again from the south or what? F it up. Yeah, and now they're gonna F it up with grenades. RPG.
Wait, switch. Where to hit? There it is. Shit, this thing is hard to aim through.
Potential hit, fire the ball.
Fuck.
Same spot.
What do you mean it's f***ing?
Same spot, go.
It's not f***ing.
Again, communication in any kind of barrel you're firing that it has a propelled grenade, RPG, whichever kind of barrel made, whichever by a country it is, it has back blast if it works in a similar way. So communication, firing now, all of that is so important. You hear it, you duplicate it, because somebody walks on the back blast. They are walking away with no hearing, broken bones, could lose an eye. It's bad. Gotta talk. Shot.
You pussy!
Oh my god. What's with you Americans? F you pussies. The curse words. In another video somebody just fuck you very slowly and very calmly. Here also it's like it's a computer game. Sorry, it makes me laugh. Now, at the very end, I have for you the best international combat firefight I've ever seen coming out of Ukrainian war. And I know the guy who wearing the GoPro is American. We're gonna watch it, but before, I wanna read you best comment from a previous video. Previous American volunteer video. But before we get to that, I need to thank the Buy Me a Coffee members. You know, the foundation of this channel. These are volunteers from my channel and they're really great. So I'm butchering the names. Tom van der Heide. Thank you, appreciate you, my friend. Vites Raven. And finally, Ben Hosk. We say H as, you know, Hosk. You end with an H, so we gotta go back to the thingy. Thank you to these 3 volunteers. Carry on, my friends. Now also a comment from the previous American volunteer video. A calm voice in such a situation can potentially be life-saving because it prevents the one at the disadvantage from doing something foolish out of fear. That's something that is actually missing in American police. Ooh, right. I think that's gonna spark a discussion in the comments. Interesting. He seems to be a smart man who appears to know about psychology. People automatically and subconsciously mirror the behaviors of others. Against a ruthless opponent, you do not surrender, you fight until the bitter end. Thank you for the comment. Now, my friends, the best footage you've all seen. I guarantee you have seen this footage, but I cannot do this kind of video with this title without showing you this specific footage. It's Severodonetsk in Luhansk Oblast in 2022. I remember watching it 3 years ago. Oh, different times. Footage from American volunteer who fights the Ukrainian Foreign Legion shows his team in intense urban combat with Russian forces. There are many Americans in this group here. And I love the way they move, communicate, and the way the infantry drills work in this video is on point. I just love it. These guys are good. Here, going up the stairs. Opening these corners, going up the stairs, cleaning. Have you ever cleared a stairway? I haven't been to war. I just rehearsed and trained this stuff, but it's a really difficult thing to do. There's many corners which play each other with the angles and everything. Cleaning up the stairway like that, down below it's easier. Up, not that easy. They can drop grenades on you also. And they open all the corners like that. Opening, staying, taking point, another one crosses. It's done beautifully. These guys have rehearsed together. Now this part here, crossing this area, there are Russians opening fire. They're connecting and strafing into this 10 meters here. So, opening up and sprint. Open and sprint. And this guy takes point, shoots. Another guy takes point here, shoots. Perfectly operated. I'm sorry for the lack of words sometimes here, but it's... And they're moving really fast under such heavy firefights. Russian strafing. Did you see? A bullet hit here, the guy ran. Bullets hitting up on the door. That's the last guy to run. Look at that, he was like 0 point something seconds away from a headshot. I mean, that hits right here. And others also come. Yeah. Shooting back blindly, and other one runs. I mean, this is extremely dangerous.
Dude, that was right behind you.
And the last one is also gonna do this. Cover fire. Also, when he cover fires, another one holds him very strongly. As soon as it's necessary, he pulls him back, because that's faster. I just love these little details in this video. These guys definitely have trained years together, I think. These small things, you might think, oh, it's logical, what? But you gotta rehearse them like crazy for that to work in a combat situation like that. That's it. I'm sure you've seen these videos, not meant to be all new footage, but this is the best footage I've seen from the international fighters, American volunteers coming out of Ukraine. I mean, yeah, I'm here in Estonia in my cozy studio talking about this. These guys are the real heroes, the real deal. Unfortunately, I don't know if they're still alive, if they're still fighting. If you know, please put it in the comments. I'll be glad to educate myself about these fighters. Thank you for watching, my friends. If you're American, have fought in Ukraine, thank you for your service. If you're a volunteer or if you have donated to any kind of Ukrainian aid organization, thank you, my friends. Until my next video, which will be tomorrow, every Monday, Wednesday, Friday, but in this week I'll also do Tuesday and Thursday, so 5 videos will be getting this week. Slava Ukraini, and bye-bye. My friends, you have been with me for almost 4 years now. We have seen that united, we can make a difference in this war. We can help the Ukrainians, and you did help them. You donated, not once, not twice, but 8 times. For 8 times I traveled to Ukraine to hand over the tens of trucks and hundreds of drones you bought for the Ukrainian units. These trucks and drones directly saved Ukrainian soldiers' lives. Soldiers who got to live another day, fight another day for their homes and families. Here on YouTube, I've not been able to tell you the whole story, the truth about what happened while I was in Ukraine. Countless times we fell under Russian drone and missile attacks. Countless times I felt the fear of death. And countless times I promised myself that I will not stop out of fear. On my final mission in Ukraine, my wife was with me. In fact, we spent our honeymoon in a war zone in Ukraine, the best honeymoon one can hope for. Here you can see her shooting guns with the SPU Alpha Group, the best special forces Ukraine has to offer. All of this is written down for you in my book, 8 Missions in Ukraine. I ask you to read it, to witness everything I witnessed, to share these experiences, because this is our story through this war, and it is intertwined with the story of Ukrainian people. Get 8 missions in Ukraine through the link in the description below. Get it for yourself. Get it for someone who cares about the Ukrainian people's fight for freedom. United, my friends, we will win. Slava Ukraini.